What is up, guys? Brian What is up, guys? Brian with Fearless Filmmaking here, and today we're talking about the Star Wars cosplay shoot that I just did recently. It was a really fun, really cool environment. It was just a bunch of photographers, bunch of cosplay artists and models showing up and shooting some really cool Star Wars content. It was beautiful. There was no hating on any particular different Star Wars content. It was just Star Wars fans who enjoyed Star Wars, any era, any costume, and it was dope. Now, it was meant to be primarily a photo shoot. Now, being me, I had to bring video into it because, you know, photography, I'm okay, but I'm definitely not like masterful at photography in any stretch of the imagination. So I was like, okay, let's bring some video into this. Let's have fun with this. I shot exclusively on the GlideCam HD 2000. So all of my shots are moving. I really wanted to incorporate a lot of movement, a lot of energy into this shoot. What was complicated about this shoot for me is we had very limited background. It's like this, you know, this green screen background here. I'm obviously on a little bit of a tighter focal length because my wider focal length, there's lots of edges cut off on the green screen and then it creates weirdness. And I had that same problem in this shoot with moving the glide cam around and stuff. So you see the wall, you see the edges, you see the seams, and I just kind of had to embrace that because I'm like, well, it is what it is, and I can't really do that much movement. The other shoot that I ran into this issue with was when I did the Rain Machine shoots a couple years back. I had to really limit my camera angles and my focal lengths and shoot a lot of close-ups because you could see the edges and the seams, and it was kind of ruining the aesthetic that I really wanted. And so I just kind of had to change up what I was doing a little bit. The thing to note with video versus photography is photography, you can have your nice, tiny, still, you know, little thing that you've got going on, but video, you're just gonna need more space, you're gonna need more expansive sets, things like that. So that's really good to keep in mind. And like I said, with this particular shoot, it was not a green screen, it was just a black and then a gray background. The other big mistake I made was not taking the time to really smooth out that gray background. I noticed, you know, pretty late into the shoot that a lot of the other photographers had really smooth backgrounds. I just kind of threw it up, not thinking about what I was doing. If I'd gotten it at least this smooth, I think some stuff would have been better. You could argue it adds some interesting texture, but I definitely would have done that differently as well. In terms of what went really well, we got a lot of cool poses. I got people into the movement. They're cosplayers. It's not that hard to be like, hey, you know, do your thing, do your cosplay thing, you know, giving the Mandalorian some direction, like, hey, go ahead and add, you know, maybe a little bit of movement. You can kind of, you know, shift the rifle around like you're aiming for different targets kind of thing. And go for it. You know, the Jedi, it's pretty natural just to be like, you know, everybody who's seen Star Wars just naturally knows how to, you know, mess with a lightsaber. One of the cosplay artists is actually a stunt performer, so we went a little deeper with her into some different poses and different movements and stuff. Wish I'd had a little more time and, you know, a little more foresight to have done something cooler. Hopefully, you know, I'll be able to in the future. I've got some really cool, fun ideas that I just need to kind of put together and then pitch, be like, hey, you know, would you be interested in doing this? So we'll see. I love Star Wars, so you guys should know that about me. I freaking love Star Wars. Anybody who knows me knows that I freaking love Star Wars. But that's neither here nor there. And then I had my FX3, which had the trusty Tamron 28-75. So everything you see in that video is the Tamron 28-75. I just shot in a Cinetone because I was not dealing with that much dynamic range, and it was all a very controlled lighting environment. For the lighting, I used my trusty little Neewer 160s and the wonderful little color things on this. I meant to bring all the colors, but I ended up just bringing purple and blue. And so everything kind of had that blue or purple tint to it. And, you know, I wish that, oh man, because I'd intended to bring like red so we could really play up that Sith atmosphere. Again, I made a lot of little mistakes on this shoot. I think it's good to note that, hey, it's okay. to make mistakes. You can still create something cool. But so yeah, a lot of it was just, you know, when I was doing the video, it was the steady cam. Okay, let's push in, pull out, let's rotate around them, let's create some kinds of little actions. Obviously, because we had such a limited space, we couldn't do a lot of really big, cool actions that I wish that we'd been able to do, which again definitely has me kind of hankering to get some more really badass Star Wars content out there. I have, you know, the Way of the Jedi that I did back early 2021 that finally came out at the beginning of this year or end of last year, and I can't remember for sure because it took me so long to do the lightsaber effects. I've gotten much better, much more efficient at lightsaber effects. So I was able to get this one out in about a month. I also was not as incredibly picky about my effects in this one because it's a cosplay video, people get the idea. And I was also much more careful how I shot it, so the lightsabers didn't pass behind people near as much like they did in Way of the Jedi, which creates all that complicated masking. So that's really, you know, the big elements of the shoot. It was really a pretty simple, pretty cool shoot. Had a blast with it, had a blast with all the cosplayers. It was such amazing variety. Everybody was amazing. We had Jedi, we had Sith, we had an Ewok who was actually a burlesque dancer. The female Sith was also a burlesque dancer. I've shot her before. Check out the Wood Nymph Boudoir video on my channel if you want to see more of her. And you recognize in the final shot, Jen from Fancy Gen Cosplay. She's been in some of my Rain Machine videos, as well as in the vampire video. She's amazing to work with. Check out her YouTube channel, Fancy Gen Cosplay. And yeah, just support all these people. Support all the amazing folks that were in front of the camera on this shoot. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you haven't checked out the Star Wars Cosplay video, check that one out right now.